Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Random Show. Random Show. Random Show. Random Show. Random Show. Random Show. Episode number 434. Day number 9 of 31. Day number 9. This might be the record, you know. This might be the record. This might be the record, bro. I think tomorrow, and I think, well, tomorrow, yeah, this might be the record, or maybe tomorrow. I think I've not done over 8 before, so we're number 9 now. Day number 9. Day number 9. This is so cool. Big everybody tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Thank you for being patient as I was blabbering away over on the fucking Taz channel. Apologies for the delay. Apologies for the delay. I never get around to finishing my tabs on Taz or on here. I've always got stuff left over. So let's see if I can fucking smash through all the tabs I have today, so I can start afresh tomorrow, because tomorrow I want to do a little member only stream, but you know, keep it fucking fresh. But big everybody tuning in, appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning into the Random Show, episode number 434, the number 1, the premier stand-up comedy commentary live stream in the fucking world. Nothing else compares, nothing else comes close. Do not accept any imitations. I am one, you are many. Thank you for tuning in to the Random Show. I am your host, Agostino Zinga. Hope you're good wherever you are. Okay, today's particular stream, we're going to be covering that golden hour fucking show that I've got mad clips for. We're gonna smash through those clips. We're gonna talk about some new stuff. We're gonna cover the Yuriy and fucking Potlord beef that's been brewing over there on the fucking interwebs and shit. And we're also gonna cover some T-Fat-K Reddit stuff. We're gonna blast through this. I'm not gonna stay for so long. It might be like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours tops. Hour and a half, 2 hours tops. We're gonna smash through this, and then when I go to sleep and I wake up after I go to the gym and after I do Taz, I'm going to do another member stream tomorrow as well for the fucking members. So you get 2 member streams tomorrow. That don't count as part of the marathon. Don't worry, it doesn't count as part of the marathon. It'll be a separate thing, and you'll get that tomorrow as well. So we're gonna get through this as quick as possible. So those of you who are waiting for a long stream, don't worry. Maybe lay off this one and come back maybe tomorrow. But if you just want to tune in anyway and hang out with me for the next hour or so, please do so. Please do so. As you guys know, this is a part of the marathon stream, 31 days. We're on day number 9 at the moment. We're trying to hit 500 members by the end of the 31 days. If you can get to that target, that'll be fucking amazing. So if you want to join and become a part of the channel and get access to member only streams, be able to chat in member only streams also, make sure that you become a member by clicking the link in the description, opting in for a gifted membership or gifting a membership via the chat box and clicking that little dollar icon at the bottom there. Cool, bless, appreciate. If you don't want to do that, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord. I implore you to join the Discord. Join the freaking Discord. Maybe this weekend, actually, if I've got some time. This weekend, if I've got some time, I may do a little watch along thing on the Discord. Maybe watch a special. Maybe do something. I'll see if my computer can handle it, because my computer is fucking super ancient. If my computer can handle it, I'll try and do like a little Discord watch along stream or something. So keep an eye on the Discord. Keep an eye on the Patreon. Updates coming very soon. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Big up Apex Potter, I see you in the stream chat. Big up Michael Roy, I see you. Big up Ricky Pitcher, I see you. Two Swords, what's going on? This is still your girl, what's good? Boba Fett, what's good? What's good, Boba Fett? What's good? What's good? What's good, Bing Bong? Bing Bong. AZ making me cheer my stance on black people is fucking hilarious. Big up Bing Bong, appreciate you. Big up Jack Donahue Jr. Big up, you did 10 on 16/11 and today is day 7. How's today? What are you saying today's day 7? Today's not day 7, today's day 9. Why are you saying today's day 7, Jack Doherty Jr.? Did I calculate the days wrong? I don't think I did. Today's day 9, no it isn't. 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, 1 day. Yeah, how can that be day 7? Huh? Or did I count them wrong? Is that what you say? Did I count them wrong? Hold on, let's see this. Day 1, 31 was technically... Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Maybe I count them wrong. So it's not. It's actually not day 9. You missed 7-1. I missed 7-1. I missed 7-1. What do you mean I missed 7? What do you mean I missed 7-1? Really? I missed 7-1. I don't think so. A lot of numbers, guy. July 1st. I didn't miss that. July 2nd is there. July 1st is there. I did miss July 1st. Maybe on your side, maybe because of how your times are, but on my side, it doesn't show I missed July 1st. This is July 1st right there. Can you see that? That's July 1st. There. That's a July 1st stream right there. Can you see that? No, I haven't missed a day. And on my back end as well, if I look on my back end, sorry, because I wanna be precise. I wanna make sure that I'm doing this legitimately. There's no point fucking, scamming shit. I'm only scamming myself. Let me double check my back end. I'm pretty sure I'm on pace with all the days. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss a day. I'm pretty sure because I do them just after midnight because it counts like that. I think if you do them before me, yeah, I'm pretty sure I haven't missed a day. I'm pretty sure I haven't missed a single day. Let's go since a day 9. Let me go on my live bit. Yeah. 9 8 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Yeah, I've not missed a single day. Maybe on your end because of your time zones, maybe it comes up different. Then you missed 6:30 and we're at 8. But I started on July 1st, my friend. I didn't start on the 31st. I started on July 1st. I did do a stream on when did I last do a stream?
Powerful bunch.
Big up.
I exonerate us just like Epstein. Same.
Big up, appreciate you. No. I didn't miss a day. I didn't miss a day. Big up Jack Doherty Jr. I didn't miss a day. Appreciate you. Keep me on the straight path. Keep me on the honest path and shit. But I'm pretty sure I did not miss a day. I'm definitely on track to do all the days. Even on my back end now. On my back end, I'm seeing now I've done every single day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which I'm currently on now at the moment. I've not missed a single day. So I don't think that is correct. But I think because of your time zones, it's a bit fucked up. But regardless, anyway, when it gets to the 31st, I might do an extra 2 days anyway, just to kind of make up for whatever days on your end might be wrong. Or on your days, or on your end, sorry, not wrong. On your days isn't marrying up in mine. So towards the end. But I'm pretty sure right now at the moment, I'm on pace to do day 9. And then from tomorrow will be day 10. But especially because of the dates as well on my end. So anyways. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate you. Big up Josie. Good to see you too, darling. Big up Luke Gallop. Or Luke Gollop, sorry. Big up Joe from MIA. Appreciate you. Big up Michael Roy. Is he checking boxes like it's UFC? It's fucking hilarious. Big up Shades Cow. Appreciate you. Anyway, let's continue. Let's get into it because I've got a lot to get through and we don't have a lot of time. Okay, apologies for the delay. It's my fault, but I'll make up for it tomorrow with the daytime stream and then of course the next day as well. So apologies. Let's go through some stuff. Number one, things I want to get through, some news that I forgot to check and talk about when I talk about it now. So apologies for those of you that probably know about this. It's kind of semi-old news, but it's still good to know. Courtesy of Deadline, Tom Segura to star in and produce an R-rated comedy. Courtesy of Deadline, Tom Segura to star and produce an R-rated comedy. Pretty big news. Again, kind of marries up to what we know regarding Tom Segura. It looks like he's, kind of off doing stand-up. It kind of looks like he wants to pursue the directing thing since he got it kind of a bit of a bug, from that thing he did recently that was pretty well received. Forgot the fucking name of it. So now he's doing something else on Netflix as well going forward. So this seems pretty exciting news for him, I guess, because he clearly looks like he's a bit over stand-up, and someone like myself who's kind of had a lot of criticism to all these comedians doing the same fucking shit. They always do these big elaborate fucking, it's almost like these live streamers, like the Kai Cenats, those guys. They do these amazing fucking trailers, but then in the end, what they do is just sit in front of a table and sit in front of a microphone and in front of a webcam, you know. So it's good at least that some comedians are venturing outside of the limits of stand-up comedy, outside of standing on the stage with a microphone. They're kind of getting out of the limits of like sitting down in the studio somewhere in front of a couple Shure microphones, and they're trying something different, trying to make different types of art, trying to create different type of fields. And who knows, maybe, you know, creating some different types of moments and stuff that's going to last for a lifetime. So it's great to fucking see. Let's read the article. It says exclusive top comic. I'm not sure about that one. Top comic has for weeks been teasing a new film project on his podcast, and now we know what it is. He's found his first feature starring vehicle in El Tigre, an R-rated comedy to be helmed by emerging director Tyler Cornack, from Mermaid, from a script by Aaron Bauschum and Teddy Riley. The news comes as Segura kicks his work in film and television into high gear. Just a week ago, Netflix ordered the second season of Bad Thoughts. That's a pretty good endorsement, bro, especially considering how quick Netflix are to fucking cancel things. The fact that they gave him a second season is a fucking great endorsement. No matter what you think of Tom Segura, that's a great fucking endorsement. Netflix ordered the second season of Bad Thoughts, his new series for the streamer, where he places a lens on some of his most dark and twisted cinematic fantasies. Entering production in New Mexico this summer, El Tigre follows Jeff Segura and his friends as they head down to Mexico, only to discover that the hard way that Jeff is a dead ringer for the infamous cartel leader El Tigre, who's gone missing. After being captured by his rivals and then rescued by El Tigre's forces, Jeff has to pretend to be their ruthless leader until he can find his friends and a way home. I don't know, the premise of that sounds pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. The premise of it sounds pretty decent. I would watch that, I'm not gonna lie. You know me and cartel stuff anyway, and how much I love fucking stuff to do with organized crime and all that malarkey. I'm definitely watching that. It sounds pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. I'm the only one though. Joe for MIA says boring. Okay, fair play. Let me know in chat what you guys think of the description so far. The quote says, "From the moment I read this script, I knew I had to play this part," says Segura. "As a fellow business owner, I've always found it inspiring how productive and efficient cartel leaders can be. This whole team is excited to make a great comedy, and I'm so thrilled to be a part of it." That's a weird quote. You find cartel leaders inspiring? What? I've always been inspired by how productive and efficient. Efficient? You mean like what? With disposing of bodies? With taking out their enemies? With fucking, you know, destroying neighborhoods? Breaking up families? What? Fuck, you know, productive and efficient. Some dark humor there from fucking Tom Segura. Greenlighted for production, by Double Down Pictures, the production company led by William Meldon in partnership with his real estate mogul father, Mike Meldon. Jesus, look at the world we live in, man. Somebody called Will Meldon has a production company called Double Down Pictures that he runs with his real estate mogul father, Mike Meldon. How much is that Mike Meldon worth? Let's just check online. Mike Meldon net worth. This is why it's hard to make it in Hollywood, because the people have got the money, they've got money. Does it say here how much his net worth is? How did he make his money? The first position as a commercial broker, Meldon financed his first property, a 300-acre lot on Portola Valley in California named Blue Oaks in the 80s. It doesn't say how much he's got though. Who was his first wife? Christy Nichols. It looks like he's living well though, to be fair. Don't know who he is, but it's like, is that him there? Will Meldon? That's somebody else? Yeah, let's see. Is this the son, right? This is the son. Is he living well? Is the son living well? How well is the son living? Yeah, he's living very well. Look how shiny. You know someone's living well by how bright the pictures are, isn't it? Look at his profile. The pictures are so brightly lit. Everything is very, very, very brightly lit. Let's go through some of the stuff that he's doing here. This is one of Tom Segura's new business partners, yeah? Nice. Studio 22 podcast, dressed in a fucking, varsity jacket with a hat on. Max's team wins the Super Bowl. So proud of him. Okay. Dad time. He was on a podcast recently. Hanging out with who? Throwbacks from Big Mama. Maybe the mum's dead, I don't know. Him on a yacht having a good time. These are the people who are financing Tom Segura stuff. Interesting. Playing some tennis. Oof. That's an interesting fit. That's an interesting group of pictures. BTS of learning and choosing tracks for Sublime. Okay, interesting.
Powerful
person.
Bunch.
We got
Business partners, he's given him the business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Interesting person. Anyway, let's move on. Mike Meldon Mosaic, founded by Jimmy Millers, producing alongside Segura and his YMH studio partner Ryan P. Hall, Will Meldon and Eddie Glazer of Double Down Pictures, as well as M. Raleigh and Molly Mandel of Mosaic. Segura came to partner with Cornack here after being wowed by his work on Mermaid, a critically acclaimed comedic thriller starring his friend and fellow comic Johnny Pemberton, which Utopia acquired on the heels of the South by Southwest World premiere. We were first to report on the project in April. In his own statement to Deadline, producer Will Meldon says, "We're excited to support Tom's first feature film because audiences are hungry for the R-rated comedies of the 90s and 2000s. He sounds like Rogan. He sounds exactly like Rogan. That's exactly something Rogan said. He sounds like he listens to a lot of JRE. That aren't getting made in studios anymore. This is a nod to Kevin Kline's Dave and Pacino's Scarface. It feels like the perfect twisted marriage with Tyler's fresh directional vision combined with Tom's proven comedic appeal. We knew this is exactly the kind of project we wanted to back." On Bad Thoughts, which premiered in May, Segura transforms into an assortment of characters, both fictional. Cornack was both the writer and director of Mermaid, in which his drug-addicted Florida man finds a wounded mermaid at his lowest point, stopping at nothing to protect her when the world spreads about his secret. His other directing credits include Tiny Cinema, Butt Boy, and Pocketeers, best known for his two created. Okay, big up Tom Segura, man. He's going to be balling soon, and he's probably going to take a very long time away from fucking stand up. I think in the long run, I think this is what he's always wanting to do, because it kind of makes him look a bit smarter. It kind of allows him to explore different ideas and shit, and he's probably just got bored of doing stand up. I think Bert's gonna do stand up until he fucking croaks. I think Bert's not going anywhere. He's gonna do stand up until he croaks. But I think Tom Segura has definitely got the bug. He's definitely been bitten by the directorial bug. He probably likes being around certain people. He loves the red carpet and all this malarkey. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see way more projects of Tom on the big screen and less of him on the stage. And some of you might not be happy about that, but you're going to see way more of Tom nowadays, especially now that he's got this endorsement, right? He's got this fucking co-sign from Hollywood that he's doing some good thing, that he's got good ideas, he's being backed, which is the most important thing financially with these things, because they take a lot of money to, put into action. So let's see how it plays out. But congrats to Tom nonetheless. Moving on to his colleague on the fucking Two Bears One Cave. This is courtesy of Deadline. It says Chris Witaske, Christine Horn, Sophia REID-GANTZERT joined Netflix comedy series Free BERT, and it's actually got his name in the fucking title as well. So this is courtesy of Deadline exclusive. Crit Witaske from The Bear, Christine Horn from Classified, and Sophia REID-GANTZERT from Death and Other Details have joined Netflix BERT Kreischer's comedy Free BERT in recurring roles. Character details are under wraps. Stand-up comedian Kreischer co-created, executive produced, and stars as himself. Okay, fucking hell. This is good. This sounds horrible already. Stand-up comedian Kreischer co-created, executive produces, and stars as himself. Shirtless comedian, party legend. Yuck. He's fucking nearly 60 years old, Party legend, perpetual wild card in Free BERT, where he finds himself in uncharted territory when his daughters are accepted into an elite Beverly Hills private school. When his unbridled antics turn his family into an outcast, he decides to put on a shirt and stifle his true nature to better fit in. Oh my god. So this is the premise. The premise is him putting on the shirt and growing up to better fit in and to allow his this sounds like it's gonna be a fucking flop already. This sounds horrendous. I thought he already had tired and wasted or kind of beat the content about his daughters, like a dead horse, but I guess we're gonna get way more. This sounds awful, man. This sounds so bad. Tom Segura sounds good. People in the stream chat, even you guys, I'm sure some of you guys don't like Tom, but you can't deny that Tom Segura's thing sounds way better than this shit. As previously announced, Arden Mirren, who also stars in the 6-episode series along with newcomers Ava Rayan and Lilu Lang, as well as Mandel Morgan, aboard in the recurring roles. In addition to KREISCHER, the show is co-created and executive produced by Jared Paul, Andrew Mogul from Huge in France, and Grinder, who serve as the writers, directors, and showrunners. Also executive producing the series are KREISCHER's wife. Really? Wow. Bert's getting Leanne KREISCHER some fucking executive production credits. That is some nepotism. That is some fucking that's an inside job, isn't it? That's a conflict of interest there, isn't it? No? That's insider trading. Leanne KREISCHER getting some executive credit points. That's fucking hilarious. She's gonna get a little salary, innit? She's gonna get some points on it. That's fucking hilarious. I wonder if his daughters get anything too. Who executive producing the series is Leanne KREISCHER, Tony Hernandez, Lily Burns, Elsie Henderson for Counterpart Studios, as well as Judy Marmel. Best known for his roles on The Bear and Netflix Love. WITASKE has also been seen in the Amazon thriller Holland opposite Nicole Kidman, as well as films like Wrong Missy and Omniloop. He is repped by Paradigm OP Partners and whatever. Horn has been seen in Prime's Video Classified. Okay, cool. But yeah, that's Bert's series. That sounds horrendous, but I'm not gonna lie. That sounds so fucking bad. That sounds so fucking bad. Or Bill Coyle, is that true? You think so? His wife writes all of his content. That'd be hilarious if true. What happened to Judd Apatow and other comedian directors? I think Judd Apatow just got a lot of money in it. He's just chilling, I think. I don't know if he's working on projects, but he just seems like he's chilling for the most part. I'd imagine that's what Judd Apatow's doing. He's probably just fucking chilling. But yeah, Free Bert sounds horrendous. Free Bert sounds horrendous. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds so fucking shit. But hey, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? Let's move on. Let's actually do the podcast cringe. Actually, there's a new podcast cringe just dropped. Big up podcast cringe. It's about Tom and Bert, so let's just go on theme. It's called Tom and Bert Are Abandoning Two Bears One Cave. I watched a little bit of the podcast. From what I understand, they're going on a break. They're going to film and produce some of their shows, so they won't be around to record a pod. So while they're away, they're gonna have what's his fucking name, Chris Stefano and Starvey cover for them on Two Bears One Cave. So Chris Stefano and Starvey will cover for them. I'm not too sure if they're going to be doing it semi-permanently or if they're going to rotate and have different duos covering for them while they're filming their shows. But that's essentially what they're doing. So let's see what Podcast Cringe was able to pull from that episode. I did watch a bit of it, but I got bored towards the middle of it. Let's see what Podcast Cringe was talking about. Big up everybody in the stream chat. Big up everybody tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying. If you are, like the stream, that'd be much appreciated.
His wife. Did you see Sebastian's wife doing a handstand on the edge of an infinity pool?
No.
I almost wanted to hit my wife and go, you can't do anything. Pull Sebastian's wife. But look at this. I'm having such fucking FOMO, Tommy.
Yeah, well, you can take a vacation.
No, I can't.
Well, that's true.
I can't.
It's probably a good time to mention that we both have huge obligations this summer that are going to take us away from vacations and anything else.
Obviously, we're trying to figure out our schedules for
Yes.
this summer. Tom's making a big movie. And I said to someone, they're like, what happens with Two Bears? And we're like, we have no idea. I mean this for real. We don't have the kind of budgets where we can just go, hey, let's take privates and meet each other in Austin.
No, it's crazy.
We're really kind of just trying to get done.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You don't have that kind of budget? You don't have a kind of budget to take privates like Ubers and meet each other in a point and then hang out? Oh, that's good. Didn't Bert once pay for one Barstool guy to fly out and meet him in Amsterdam because he was lonely and wanted to party? Don't I remember that correctly? I think it was that KC, what's his name? KFC guy. Because I think Bert's close to that KFC guy. I'm pretty sure Bert one time was lonely in Amsterdam and paid for that, basically flew him out to come meet him in fucking Amsterdam to hang out and shit. So hilarious. Big up Josie. Is it, question, is it Starvey or Yanis? No, it's 100% Starvey. because I watched the episode. It's 100% Starvey. I think they call Chris Stefano during the pod as well. It's Chris Stefano and Starvey, not Giannis. Chris Stefano and Starvey only.
I had a theory about this with comedy. Actually, I think that like I think the bubble has subsided a little bit.
Yeah, well, you can tell that by our ticket sales.
I get back from a short vacation to Tom and Bert planning their retirement. Tom's not taking the summer off, he's staging his exit. This is phase 3 of the master plan to quietly dip out of podcasting, become a serious Hollywood actor, and monetize all of his comedian friends through YMH Studios on the way out.
I don't think that's true. I don't think he's going to quit podcasting. I just think he's going to quit doing stand-up. Like he's gonna do what fucking thing he does. Joe essentially doesn't really do stand up. No, Joe stand up doesn't count because it's his own club. But outside of his own club, he doesn't tour. I can't remember the last time he went and toured with Dave Chappelle, who he was touring with a lot. He just performs at his own club, and that's about it. But he doesn't do any other bits of stand up outside of that. I think that's what Tom will end up eventually doing. He'll end up focusing more on directing and less on stand up because directing will probably pay a lot more. Or pay just as much as stand-up will, and stand-up is way harder to do because you have to literally, write the jokes and perform them, practice them in front of a crowd, blah 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 blah. So I don't think he's gonna quit podcasting, but I think he'll quit stand-up.
That's the business model now. Turn your friends into content, sell them back to their own fans, then disappear behind a paywall. Meanwhile, Bert's over here
Yeah, but Coiler, I agree. He's not a good writer, so he's not a good actor, but I think he's a good writer. I think he's able to do that. So I think in the end, I think for now, because his star is big and because he's well known, he's going to front some projects and work on them and star in them. But somewhere down the line, I think he will then regress into the background and decide to let other people do the starring roles. I think that's what he'll end up eventually getting. But definitely, you can definitely see him trying to pivot away from stand-up. That's what I think anyway.
acting like this is just a scheduling conflict, like they're so busy with big projects this summer that they might not be able to record a few podcasts. These guys couldn't even be fucked to phone it in from a hotel room now. Here's the truth of it. They've both checked out. Tom and Bert are entering the post-comedy phase of their careers. Some would actually argue that they're still in the pre-comedy phase, but forget about that for now because this is their retirement arc. No more killing, no more viral Kool-Aid clips, just cruise control until their audience gives up and moves on to the next guy with a microphone and a half-functioning frontal lobe.
That's a good point he makes though about the Kool-Aid, because when's the last time you've seen Bert trying to go viral? Do you remember there was a period where he was trying super hard to go viral? With the laughing and the heezing and the stupid takes. They're not even trying like to go viral anymore, right? Like the interrupting. You could tell they've definitely taken a step back and just going through the motions a little bit.
Wait, am I that guy? Damn. And so the pandemic comedy boom bubble that Joe Rogan accidentally created by sneezing in Austin is bursting, and everyone knows it. Even Andrew Schultz, who literally made his entire career riding the algorithm wave, said it out loud on Flagrant. The comedy scene is bloated, the fan base is burnt, and the live show business is heading for a reset. But we'll come back to that later because while Tom and Bert are out there getting Harvey Weinsteined by Netflix executives, they're handing over the reins to Two Bears One Cave to a couple of their comedy buddies. This is the beginning of the end. If you've been following both my channels here on YouTube and also over on Patreon, shout out to all you legends on Patreon, by the way, you'll know that this latest move from Tom and Bert perfectly fits into this timeline. Like, this shit is almost too predictable at this point. And Bert's completely lost in the sauce. He's in a full-blown FOMO spiral because Sebastian Maniscalco's wife is doing handstands on an infinity pool and wants to slap his own wife because she can't live up to his Instagram feed. Meanwhile, Bert's out here looking like the before pic in an Ozempic infomercial.
Exactly.
I told you this downstairs, but I'm having real FOMO.
Yeah, for like parenting.
It's kind of wild how he gets away with it in general, like, you know, like this attractive shaming of Leanne. Like, bro, she looks like that's the thing about Leanne KREISCHER, right? Like, if she decided to get like a little nip tuck, she would look sensational. She looks good anyway for her age. She doesn't look like somebody that would be married to Bert in the first place, right? Because she looks very healthy and Bert looks very unhealthy. But the crazy thing is, like, if Leanne was to go under the knife, if Leanne was to do whatever, she would look 10 times better than Bert. There's no chance Bert could ever look as better than Leanne Kreischer in terms of like objective attractiveness. Like, she definitely looks better than him. So it's funny that he kind of takes a piss out of her looking like an old woman, when the fact is, if she was vain and she cared about that sort of shit and she decided to go under the knife, she would look way better than Bert. And he better be careful what he wishes for, because if she decides to lock in, if she decides to get a PT, if she decides to go under the knife or just change up her style, whatever, and she gets a lot of self-confidence, you know, or her confidence gets restored, her eyes could be wandering. Her eyes could start wandering around the room, and she could start realizing to herself, like, why the fuck am I sleeping next to this fucking, you know, alcoholic? So be careful what you wish for, Mr. Bert Kreischer. Be careful.
Stuff
To Sebastian's in fucking Corsica with his kids. His wife. Did you see Sebastian's wife doing a handstand on the edge of a infinity pool?
No.
I almost wanted to hit my wife and go, you can't do anything.
Pick up Giron and Roger. Stop it, AZ. Leanne is not a looker. Again, you're not listening to what I'm saying, brother. I did not say she's fucking Halle Bailey or Halle Berry, whatever the fucking name is. Halle Bailey. Halle Berry. I mean, she looks better than Bert, objectively speaking. If she had a beard, she'd look hotter than Bert. If Bert had tits, he wouldn't look as hot as her. She looks hotter than him. That's what I'm saying.
Sebastian's wife. Look at her.
It's pretty nuts.
She's doing a fucking handstand. Leanne couldn't even stand on the edge of an infinity pool.
Yeah, you should definitely.
Look at that. Here's what.
Getting that excited over your colleague's wife's handstand on Instagram is a bit weird, isn't it? I'm not gonna lie. Just double tap the picture and keep it moving, but bringing it up on a pod and like literally busting a load in your trousers over a comedic peer's wife or somebody you count as a friend wife, bit strange.
This is why fucking Instagram needs to shut down. I'm looking at this. Now go to fucking Andrew Schultz. Look at this. Look at this. Look, they look great. Clean clothes. No stains. No ice cream stains. They're on a goddamn boat.
Yeah, that's
They're on a
awesome.
fucking boat. She looks amazing.
Does Bert want to fuck her? Or is he just annoyed that his wife doesn't look like that? Or, to be fair, why don't you create these moments with Leanne Kreischer, mate? Why don't you book her or charter a fucking yacht? Jump on it and take off your t-shirt there. It seems like he doesn't like hanging out with his wife, or he goes, you know, he's doing his own thing, touring and shit, but you could easily recreate these moments if you just got on a boat yourself, really. It's not that difficult.
Look at that little fun kid car.
Hotel du Cap.
Maybe we shouldn't tell everyone where he's staying.
Well,
All right.
it's on the Instagram.
Oh yeah, it's on Instagram. Now go to Andrew Schultz. Look at this. I don't know why this is all promo stuff. Get out of here. Get out of here. Does he have 2 accounts? Oh, well, never mind. Oh, go to his stories. Go to his stories. Go to his stories. Go to his stories. Okay, look at that. Beautiful little girl, Ibiza, Spain. Look at this.
Oh yeah,
Just a bunch of New York Jews swimming in the ocean.
Having a good time.
Don't even care about Gaza.
Yep.
And then look at this. Great food.
Oh yeah.
Look at cocktails in the afternoon. This is killing me. And then, of course, he's got a snorkel on. This guy doesn't belong in the ocean. But the fish, he's panicked. This is New York for you. He's like, I'm going to get the piranhas.
Scared.
The piranhas. Is that Dove?
I don't know.
And then look at this. Everyone's young and beautiful. The kid's got a nanny. Kids going taking a nap and they're partying balls.
This is what comedy podcasting looks like in 2025. 2 multi-millionaires sitting in a studio scrolling Instagram, venting their jealousy in real time. This isn't a bit. This is not satire. This is Bert Kreischer spiraling because Sebastian Maniscalco's younger, better looking, and more famous than he is. Hold up, they're both the same age? Fuck me dead, they're both the same age.
Really?
Jeez, Bert's looking rough. He spends a full...
Oof. That's the thing. And Sebastian Maniscalco isn't like a hair dye user. You know what I mean? Sebastian Maniscalco isn't a hair dye user, and he still looks considerably younger than Bert. Fucking hell. They're the same age. Fucking hell.
full 2 minutes daydreaming about hitting his wife because she doesn't post thirst traps like Sebastian's wife, while Tom just sits there nodding like this is a totally normal thing to say into a microphone with the cameras rolling. Like, imagine being that deep into your own FOMO that you start resenting your own wife for not being Instagram worthy. Bert's not just jealous, he's in a full-blown identity crisis.
Exactly.
His brain has been completely scrambled by social media, just like Joe Rogan, except while Rogan's gone full Facebook boomer, Bert's scrolling through Andrew Schultz's vacation photos like a real housewife mid-divorce. At this point, Bert isn't even a comedian. He's a pick-me girl with a podcast. The man is living in constant fear that everyone's having more fun without him. He's a human comment section, a pre-viral meme. Watching Bert navigate his Instagram feed is like watching that scene in Jumanji where the girl gets stuck in Jack Black's body, except Bert's fatter, sweatier, and less talented than Jack Black. And while he's ranting
Powerful
about nanny
bunch.
privilege and
Big up Gitsy.
Why people? Am I right?
Exactly. Yeah, some white people shit. It really is. Big up Gitsy. Big up Gitsy.
ice cream stains, we start to get the real reason this episode exists in the first place. Because underneath all the screaming and the screenshots and the FOMO is a quiet little pivot away from comedy. Tom and Bert are hitting pause on Two Bears, One Cave while they chase their dreams or clutch at straws. Just depends how you look at it.
But look at this. I'm having such fucking FOMO, Tommy.
Yeah. Well, you can take a vacation.
No, I can't.
Well, that's true.
I can't.
Well, actually, we both really have to stop soon because it's probably a good time to mention that we both have huge obligations.
I like how Bert's acting like he can never take a vacation, like as if he's so busy. When the actuality is, it's like, you've got a project. So what are you doing? So you could have taken a vacation before the project starts, but now that you're working on a series, you have to be filming for a set number of weeks, and so you can't go away. But he's making it sound like, oh, I'm so busy, I'm worked to the bone, so much pressure. I mean, he's kind of insinuating like that, like, oh my god, I'm so busy, I don't even have time for myself. You know, it's like, bro, you've got all the time for yourself. You basically work for yourself. You know what I mean? You're freelance. You can do what the fuck you want. Obviously, when you get hired by people, they kind of pay for your time and they can kind of dictate, you know, how long you can be there or are required to be there. So that's different. But it's not like you can't ever take a vacation. Come on, bro.
This summer that are going to take us away from vacations and anything else.
I'm only here right now to film some episodes to go back to work. Shooting a television show for Netflix.
Back to work is hilarious.
It's called Free BERT. It's you can find the write-up on it. I'm not going to tell you about it. I hope you enjoy it. I'm not
going to tell you about it. I think he knows it's shit, innit? Bert's usually the master of fucking salesmanship. I think he knows it's shit. I think he's got a feeling it's going to be a fucking dud, innit? But you just have to go through with it because Netflix has paid you the money, so you have to just go through the motions. Film it, do the whole reads, whatever, you know? You have to just go through the motions. Even though you know from episode 1 it's going to be fucking terrible. Or maybe when you got back the script, you know instantly it wasn't going to work, but you can't, you know, bail on it. But yeah, that's a weird one. I'm not going to tell you about it. Just read up about it yourself. Woo.
Can you say what you're doing?
Yeah, now I can. So it's such a, I've always said it's such a weird business. But anyway, so at this point it's already out. So I'm shooting a movie this summer. And we're shooting in New Mexico. It's called El Tigre.
Obviously, we're trying to figure out our schedules for this summer. Tom's making a big movie. And I said to someone, they're like, what happens with Two Bears? And we're like, we have no idea.
Yeah.
Because you're in New Mexico, I'm in Atlanta, and we don't have the kind of, I mean this for real, we don't have the kind of budgets where we can just go, hey, let's.
Why do you look at the producers? I mean this for real. Why do you look at the producers to fucking emphasize that, hey guys, I know you guys think we're really rich, but we're not that rich. Strange, he looks at the producers in it first. Just for real though, we can't do this and this. It's like,
Let's take privates and meet each other in Austin.
No, it's crazy.
We're really kind of just trying to get done.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's Tom doing? And I go, I don't, some movie. You know how I don't listen.
Yeah.
So now the story is they can't afford to keep podcasting while they're away over the summer. Really? These are two guys who've done entire podcasts while drunk on a boat after a 5K run inside some random party house they hired and literally during Bert's colonoscopy.
Oh, yeah, true.
They're known for banking episodes months in advance. They've flown across the country to do one-off recordings just to promote their vodka brand, but now suddenly they can't make it work. Come on, B. This isn't a money problem, it's a motivation problem. Tom and Bert don't want a podcast anymore, and honestly, fair enough. You can only fake laughter in front of a camera for so long before your soul starts to leak out of your ass.
To be fair as well, the name Two Bears One Cave is vague enough, or that it can be anyone. It doesn't need to be them, in a way. Even though Two Bears One Cave is about, them, it can be about anyone really. So technically they could hand over the reins to somebody else to do it. They could kind of pretend, oh, we can't do it because we're filming. But then the plan all along could be for Starvey and Chris to just take over from the show. But then they announce it later, like, oh my God, you guys have loved Starvey and Chris, so we've decided, to do something that's really hard. We decided to fucking hand it over to them. It's going to be in good hands. We're doing our own projects, but that might be the long game. That might be the fucking long game. It's all just one big fucking play, and they're doing this whole thing about we allegedly can't film because we can't record a podcast because we're filming, as a way to test if Chris and Starvey are good fits for that show. You never know.
The mask slips, the shorts tighten, the rogue nicotine patches lose their edge. But what's funny is how they try to frame it like it's out of their control. Like, oh, sorry guys, we just physically can't keep podcasting while doing all these massive high-budget Netflix projects and movie shoots. Right, sounds super tragic. You poor bastards.
To be fair though, there are some shoots that don't allow you to do other things. So maybe there is that. There are some people, so maybe if it's a Netflix thing, maybe they're like, hey, while you're doing this Netflix thing, you can't do anything else. Maybe that's one of the conditions in the contract. Because I've had that happen to me, and I've been just an extra on certain stuff. Like, you can't be an extra on other things while you're filming that one thing. There's almost like a bit of a non-compete clause.
Even funnier though is who they've picked to replace themselves with, because if you've been watching this channel for a while, you already know what happened to Brendan Schaub when Brian Callen ditched him in Austin, Texas. That's right, with a G. It resulted in the slow motion panic attack that Brendan's still suffering from. Schaub struggled to find a replacement and ended up with two guys who looked like they just got evicted from the comedy mothership green room. So he decided to start a new podcast with Jesse, whatever the fuck his name is. But Tom and Bert have pulled a complete reverse Schaub. That's right, I just invented a new phrase. They're stepping away from the podcast and it's immediately about to get better. They throw the keys to Chris DiStefano and Starvey, and suddenly the most tired show on YMH has potential again. Honestly, this is what fumbling upwards looks like.
So we were thinking that, you have your show, I have this movie, we're both off the grid, so to speak. We want to keep podcasts coming out. So we thought a fun thing to do would be, why don't we ask some friends to do episodes for us?
Yeah. And we have so many great friends that do podcasts that are, either in Austin.
What about Brian and Brendan, eh? Why weren't Brian and Brendan ever considered for this? Why weren't Brian and Brendan ever considered to take over Two Bears One Cave? They would have been a great fit. Or Crystalia and Brian, that would have been a good fit.
Austin or New York or LA. So we thought it'd be fun for you guys to get into the comments right now and tag who you'd love to see as guest bears.
Yeah.
And then we'll read all of those. And then Tom and I are going to pick who we want and not care who you want.
Right. We'll see your suggestion.
We'll see them, but we aren't going to listen to them. We'll pick Chris DiStefano and Stabby.
Okay.
That's it. We said,
yeah,
who do you want? And I think Chris DiStefano is the funniest guy on a podcast ever.
Oh my God.
Everything he ever says makes me laugh. He is so fucking quick.
Should we call one now? I'll call Chrissy.
FaceTime.
Let's see here. Hey, handsome.
Hey, what's up, man? Sorry I missed the call. I was texting one on the subway.
That's cool. We're doing a podcast. Look, it's me and Bert. We're telling the audience here that you're going to be doing.
What's up, Chris?
We're telling people that you guys are going to be doing some guest episodes for us. So everyone here is excited.
yes, I'm pumped to do it with. I believe I'm with Stavros.
Yeah, perfect.
And I'm also happy to be on FaceTime with Bert Kreischer's feet.
Yeah, there they are. He's got fresh painted nails. He's real excited, dude.
We're going to send you guys 5 talking points we want to hear you guys talk about, and then you can talk about whatever.
Amazing, dude.
So instead of
Sending us talking points, like, fuck off, mate.
recording a few banked episodes like they've done 100 times before, Tom and Bert have decided to tap out and hand the reins to a couple of guest bears. And for once, they actually made a good call, because here's the thing. I like Chrissy D, I like Stavy. These are two of my favorite comedy podcasters, right up there with Tim Dillon and Mark Normand. They're fast, they're unhinged, they don't pretend to be the wise old elders of the comedy scene. They're just funny, which is more than I can say for these two jerk-offs. So while Tom's off in New Mexico trying to remember his lines and Bert's in Atlanta crying into a bowl of edibles, Chrissy D and Stavy will be injecting a little actual life into the two bears' corpse. And I'm here for it. It's the best.
It's going to be good as well if in the future they decide to rotate the cast and maybe one day Stavio Chris isn't there and then you replace him with Mark Norman, Tim Dillon. That'd be pretty fun, not going to lie. Yeah, I'll be good. Quay's not a fan. The only thing I don't like about Chris D is sometimes the gay talk thing. The gay hacky thing I'm a bit bored of, you know? I'm a little bit caught to get like all this, like, you know what I mean, the little sassy thing he does, like that bit I'm tired of. I'm tired of the little gay sassy bit that he does, but everything else I think is pretty funny. He was one of the only highlights, one of the only bright sparks about that 1,000 episode. Him and fucking what's his face, Will Sasso. So yeah, he's good. I like him.
Thing to happen to that podcast since Bert started wearing makeup to hide his bloated red corpse. But somewhere in between the forced laughter and the nail polish fumes, something slipped out there. A momentary glitch. A Freudian slip, if you will. Bert starts rambling about the good old days, about when we were comics. That's right, the past tense, the accidental honesty. He says it out loud, not as comics, not as working comedians, not even back when we started.
Big up Eddie D. Does anyone know why Nikki HSG, big up Nikki HSD, the Queen, reaction video has video game playing in the bottom right hand corner? It's so random. I think that might be just an ADHD thing. But I know some people do it. But some people, like, it might be an ADHD thing. It might just be like a nice bit of visuals to just distract you, or just keep your eyes occupied while you watch the video, or maybe play in the background, whatever. So it depends. But I know some people like to react and play games to kind of keep their mind occupied. I forgot, fucking Destiny does that, innit? Destiny does that. He'll do pods while he's actually playing a game in the background. You know, I guess just to mix up a little bit. I don't think it's that serious.
When we were comics, like it's already over.
You know what I was thinking? You know what's crazy? I don't know, this is a weird thought, but I was looking at like when we were comics versus when these guys are comics. And I feel like...
What do you mean when we were comics?
When we were... Oh God.
Wow.
When we were new comics?
No.
Wow. Interesting. Maybe they both haven't said it aloud, you know? Maybe they're doing that thing where they're subconsciously doing actions that make it look like they are going in different directions, or they're taking a backseat from comedy, but they've never actually said it aloud, you know? Neither of them have never actually said aloud, we are taking a break, we're doing X, Y, and Z. That's maybe what's happening right here. So for the first time, they're being confronted with the fact that, oh yeah, shit, we are actually doing this and that. When
we were their age.
Oh.
But like, whatever happened to the middle class of comedy?
The middle class.
Like the middle class. Like when we were...
This is a good point that he makes, but I think it's the wrong one. He's the wrong messenger, because I think essentially Rogan and those guys just basically destroyed it, innit? There is no middle class or anything, or any class in comedy, because for the longest time Rogan was the fucking kingmaker. Unless you knew Rogan, you weren't gonna make it. So it's pretty hard to have a middle class because there's one guy kind of controlling most things. I think so anyway. That's my general theory there. I could be wrong.
We were like, how about this? Forget ages. When we were like 12 years in, 15 years in, 12 years in,
okay,
everyone was doing clubs. everyone was making $2,500. Maybe guys were making $6,000. Maybe guys were making $25,000. But there weren't a lot of people making crazy money. And then all of a sudden, something happened with comedy. I don't know if it was podcasting, but the way
Joe Rogan and podcasting, of course. You know exactly what it was. Joe Rogan and podcasting, of course.
age gap is just so far.
It's so annoying.
And I've said this before. I'm glad he's mentioned it. I said this before in the stream chat that I actually, no, during the stream, sorry, not the stream chat, but during the streams, I said it before to you guys. I actually completely understand why some comedians are super haters. You know, I get why some comedians are haters. Because if you're a comedian coming up, and no matter what year you're in, your 5th, your 10th, your 12th, your 13th, the difference between you and BERT in terms of earning is just astronomical. But then when you go on stage and you hear each other do your material, you think to yourself, this guy's a fucking hack, he's terrible. So it doesn't make sense. It kind of breaks your brain. Like, he's been doing it longer than you, yet objectively he's worse, but then he earns like, you know, 15, 20, 50 times more than what you earn. And most of it is because of the Rogan bump, you know. So yeah, I do completely understand the frustration some comedians have coming up in the scene, you know, because Jesus Christ, it's not easy out here. It's not easy.
Enormous.
There's no middle class anymore. Like, even like these guys are all doing arenas and huge theaters. Like the other day on Sunday, I'm sitting in my backyard and I'm not working, you know, I'm having coffee. I have nothing to do on Sunday. And I open the New York Times app, and 3 of my friends are in the New York Times. They're all doing very, very big things, but they're not like 30-year comics. And we're not talking about Seinfeld. It was Shane, Schultz, and Dave Smith.
I love how he always seems to mention Shane Gillis, isn't it? He's got a very interesting love-hate relationship with Shane Gillis. I think maybe BERT sees himself as Shane and what he could have accomplished if he was more of a Shane. But yeah, I find it hilarious, and he's always talking about that guy. Always, it's so funny.
Are all in the New York Times
separately.
Shane. I mean, I didn't read the articles, but I only read Dave Smith's article. But I didn't read the articles because I don't, you know.
Yeah.
Can't read.
If it's positive or negative, I don't want it to affect.
You don't know what the articles were even about?
It was about Schultz being. I really don't know.
Okay.
I really didn't. I mean, I kind of glanced over.
And Shane's about his show?
Yeah, but I think it was good.
Okay. And what
Jesus
was the Dave?
Christ.
This is a great summary.
The Dave one.
Yeah.
He's America's foremost political journalist. That's what the majority of it was all about. He's like a political journalist now. Schultz is. So is Theo, and so is Dave. Dave's was a negative piece. Podcasters shouldn't be talking about politics. Podcasters shouldn't be interviewing politicians. Podcasters.
Oh, wow.
Agreed.
The remarkable idiocy.
Agreed.
That's a pretty aggressive headline, man.
Not really.
He went head to head with this guy on Rogan.
Yeah, that got a lot of traction. That was a huge thing. Yeah.
BERT spends this entire episode bouncing between jealousy and nostalgia. Like a guy who just found his college hoodie in a box full of divorce papers. You can almost feel it. The quiet panic, the longing. He's still chasing the high off that Rolling Stone article from 25 years ago, the one that kickstarted his whole career, back when being the party animal felt like a title.
It's kind of crazy that he's living off that, by the way. Living off your fame and your clout of when you were a fucking high schooler is embarrassing enough, right? When you see it, you're embarrassed, like having to play while everything around you is literally on fire. It must be fucking difficult.
Not a warning label, and now he's scrolling through his phone like a widowed frat boy, trying to convince himself that a FaceTime with Chrissy D counts as still being in the game. He sees Shane Gillis in the New York Times, and suddenly it's a therapy session. BERT Kreischer's name-dropping addiction comes off like he's listing the exes who moved on without him. And true to form, he doesn't read a single one of the articles. Not one, just headlines. This is Rogan levels of media literacy. He even admits it. I didn't actually read it, but I kind of glanced over it. Then proceeds to give a full-blown opinion piece like he wrote the damn thing.
Exactly.
BERT's become exactly what Joe Rogan turned into 5 years ago. A guy who skims a tweet, repeats it on camera, and calls it a conversation. This is what it looks like when you're addicted to staying relevant but allergic to information. And speaking of that New York Times article, can we talk about Andrew Schultz? Because apparently he's now being framed as America's foremost political journalist. Like, how the fuck did this happen? How did you people let this happen? Who's tuning into Flagrant for political journalism? Schultz made...
He looked up in it. He changed his hairstyle. He grew a mustache. He started playing with his hands when he's speaking, looking up, trying to find the words, trying to grab them from the ether, you know? That's how he became the political thing. And I think for a long time too, they had the rule of only interviewing political people, right? No cultural things, nothing. Just political people. Like, if you got a suit and you drive an Escalade and shit, you know, I will be there. I will be there. But yeah, this is hilarious. A hilarious development that Schultz has become the voice of the left, or he's become the new dirtbag left, isn't it? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the fucking Flagrant is the new dirtbag left.
Made his name wearing tight pants and posting stand-up clips on Instagram. Now he's the new fucking Walter Cronkite of YouTube. This guy's entire brand is cutting off his guests mid-sentence to crack a fart joke about the deep state. And somehow that qualifies as thought leadership. It's crazy, but it also kind of makes perfect sense. The comedy scene has become so bloated with podcasters pretending to be public intellectuals that even the New York Times can't tell the difference anymore. But speaking of public intellectuals, it's time for a Schultz epiphany about something that we've all been saying for a couple of years now. Better late than never, huh, Schultzy?
It's already the unique experience. Like,
Yeah.
seeing people on screens is like
Easy.
nothing now.
Yeah, yeah.
So now going to see someone live is like being what being on TV used to be.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So the live experience is not replicatable by AI. So we want to go do live things, but live is so expensive now that people are kind of like hesitant.
Well, lower your prices. Dude.
I'm not on the road.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Smart to not be on the road right now.
Why is the road rough right now?
Yeah, it's not great.
So I wonder. I had a theory.
To be fair, or just to kind of offer a counter to this, I personally think a lot of these guys were, what's that word called? They were running plays with the whole touring thing. I think they realized the money glitch, the money hack with touring. If you build your podcast up to a certain level and you have a certain following, if you then convert that into just 10% of your following, 10% of your monthly downloads, and then you charge that amount of people $50 to $100 per head, not including whatever you're going to charge for the VIP sections, the meet and greets, the merch, you can make a good amount of money, minus the venue fee and all that malarkey. Touring makes these guys a lot of money. So I think, like most comedians who are obsessed with money, they got greedy and they started to do too many tours. That probably explains Brendan's thing with the touring. I think they did too many tours and they exhausted the audience. And I think a lot of these guys also overestimate their appeal. I think these guys think they have like fans all over the world, which they kind of do have, but it's not the quantity that they think it is. They have a select amount of fans in each kind of country, in each fucking state, and that's about it. But once you've done the circuit, once you've done a couple of these places once or twice, they're not going to come out again. You're fucking, you know what I mean? You're dragging it. You're dragging the thing. Whereas the first two were fucking amazing. So it just goes to show sometimes you got to drag it. You know, you got to drag it while you're ahead. You got to fucking drag it while you're ahead.
About this with comedy, actually. Yeah. I think that like I think the bubble has subsided a little bit.
Yeah, well, you can tell that by our ticket sales.
Yo, big up Ashley Cummins in the chat. Big up Ashley Cummins, Wagwan. Big up Mr. Bob. Big up Stephen Castaneda. That's why Sebastian still appeals. He's not there. He's not out there. That exactly. Yeah, you've got to like. Big up Nikki HSG. What's going on, Queen? What's good? What's good? You gotta pull it back. I think these guys tried. They did too much. You know, it was a money glitch. They saw the amount of money they're making from touring, and they just did too much, and they tired out the audience. And they're not, you know, they don't have a new audience in the same state every single time. It's the same people coming to see them. And after you see them twice or third time, especially some of these guys, you read some of the fucking reviews. Honestly, I've read some of the reviews on Reddit about some of these comedians and their shows, like Bobby Lee, especially if you read the Bad Friends Reddit and stuff, you'll see like, you know, these guys don't even try. They don't perform new material. They phone it in. A lot of these people don't do good shows. So with that being said, a lot of people as well, I think most humans, myself included, we don't. No, I'm not a good example because I like to complain online. But most people don't like complaining online. Most people don't even bother. They just vote with their feet. If you gave them a lackluster show the first time, they're not going to come back the second time. If they come back the second time, they're definitely not going to come back the third time. So I think a combination of that also is probably the reason why their ticket sales are not what they once were, you know?
Feel that.
Go check out Giannis and Chris on the road.
Go see Property Owner.
No, but I think there's a version of it. Like, I remember Shane and I were doing a show in Canada, and it was an outdoor show.
Big up Uche. In the words of Drake, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Big up Uche.
There's like 40,000 people. Like, people were sitting on a bridge watching the show from the bridge, right? And I was like, yeah, this is the end of it. Like, it should never be this big. Right. And it has to kind of come down. It doesn't mean it comes all the way down. But I think that, like, after COVID, everybody wanted to be outside. They wanted to laugh. Comedy dominated the culture. The most influential person in the world loves comedy. And because
I think it was just COVID, man. These guys are already doing comedy podcasts as it is. I think COVID was perfect timing, you know? It's like when they say about, what's that quote from Tiger Woods about luck, right? Luck is something, opportunity meets this or whatever. So I think that's what basically happened. I think that's all that fucking happened. I think, you know, they were already doing pods. COVID happened. It kind of, you know, was a happenstance chance. And obviously at that time, Joe Rogan was fucking bigger than ever. But I don't think that boom was representative of their overall appeal. It was somewhat inflated. And I also think a lot of these guys haven't held on to those fans. They kind of turned them off as well by some of the politics, by some of the raves in general. You know, It is what it is.
Because of that, there's, like, you know, interest in the people that he influences, obviously Rogan. And I think everybody got those experiences. And I think for a little bit now, they're just like, all right, we're cool. We saw 4 or 5 shows.
Yeah.
And then I don't think it goes away entirely, but I think there's a little bit of a reset.
Yeah, take care, Joe from MIA. Safe travels, brother. Safe flight to Joe from MIA.
100%.
There's gonna be a purge.
Yeah.
You think? Oh, you think it's purge?
There's gonna be some. We're cutting the fat or whatever. Like,
yeah, I just think
certain
it's a
comics
little...
are gonna whatever. Certain comics are gonna sustain, and you're just gonna see things kind of.
So this is where we've landed. Schultz sitting on Flagrant, having a full-on light bulb moment about the comedy bubble collapsing, and
yeah, big up Apex Putter. Is that the Tiger Woods quote, right? When opportunity meets preparation. Yeah, exactly. That's essentially what happened to them during COVID. But I think some of them, Ben Shaw being a good example, I think they thought that was the norm. They thought those good times would last forever. Yeah? Comedy Rat Pack.
it only took, what, 2 sold-out tours, a comedy special, bait and switch, and a full-blown podcast industrial complex to get there. He says, and I quote, "The most influential person in the world loves comedy." Notice what he didn't say. He didn't say the most influential person in the world is a comedian, just that he loves comedy, which is true.
Anyway, I'll leave that there. You can watch the rest of it later yourselves. There's about a minute left of it anyway, so I'll leave it there if you can check out yourselves. Big up Podcast Cringe. He makes a lot of good points here. I personally think, go back to the beginning, I don't necessarily think Bert and Tom are going to quit podcasting. I think they definitely want to quit doing stand-up, especially Tom. Maybe not Bert, because I think Bert enjoys, like, Bert's a weirdo. Bert's addicted to fame. He loves being relevant. So I think Bert kind of enjoys touring. He enjoys being recognized in airports. He enjoys being recognized, you know, in fucking city centers. He enjoys all that sort of shit. So I don't think Bert will ever quit doing, you know, that, like waitressing and shit in some places, because, you know, why wouldn't you? And I'm sure he gets, you know, whatever. So that's the main thing on that one. Well, and I'm looking forward actually to see what Chris Stefano and what's his name, Starvey, do on that show together as well, when they cover for Tom and Bert while they're filming their fucking respective shows. So it should be good all around. It should be good all around. Let's continue on. Let's talk about what's on the title. Let's talk about what's in the title. So I don't know if you guys know, but for some reason, I don't know why this is. Don't ask me why, because I'm fucking stupid. But for some reason, Yuriy woke up and chose violence. Yuriy woke up and chose violence. Yuriy from No Jumper fame, formerly of Reconnected, decided one day, hey, I've had enough, and decided to go in on Potlord. I think he started it. I think Yuriy started the beef randomly on his stories. Harmonious Yuriy on his stories. I remember Potlord and his crackhead looking girl used to leave their infant daughter at home with a nanny cam and drive an hour away to get drunk at my house. LOL. What a sad excuse for a dad and mum. Imagine doing that just so you can leech some viewers. LMAO. So that's a pretty crazy allegation to put out there, and also very revealing and rude, especially considering they were once friends. So I don't really like that sort of thing. I think even if you fall out with your friends, I don't believe in airing your friends' business. Like, you were once friends, you know, you supported and helped each other. Now that it's ended, you know, end on good terms. Just keep, you know, shake hands or whatever, rub feet together, and then keep it moving. But the idea of, like, you know, exposing your former girlfriend, boyfriend's deepest, darkest secrets just so you can get your own back on them is quite scummy. It's quite scummy, I'm not gonna lie. But I also understand it from Harmonious Yuri's side of things. He really hates how he was treated at the end of Reconnected. So I get that he's still not going to get over it. He's still not going to get over the fact that House Phone barked to him and said, go scream with your bitch. He's not going to get over Adam 22 saying a bunch of stiff stuff about him. Like, I get why he's pissed. I'm not going to lie. I totally understand why he's pissed, but I think this was unnecessary because, you know, Potlord ended up destroying him after, I think. There's another tweet from him. He said, bro, shit lord, you're a bum. You leech off everyone, including your wife. You said you don't even like her or find her attractive. Oh my god. Fuck, you can't. This is not cool. Come on, Yuri. You can't start revealing, you know, the secrets of fucking bro talk to random, especially not girls. Like, what? I told him I was a police officer, okay? Jesus Christ, you gotta be very, very aware of this sort of things. But yeah, I guess there we go. There we fucking go. But big up him. What's to say, bro? Shit lord, you're a bum. You leech off everyone, including your wife. You said you can't even find her. You don't even find her attractive. No wonder you can't stop thinking about Riley. LMAO. Quit while you're ahead, bud. I got text to drop. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if he means text is in evidence. Throwing Riley's name in there to say, yeah, look, I got this hot girl. It's fucking weird, by the way. It's very incelly, immature energy that he gives sometimes in certain things. Oh yeah, that's her. This is her. What? Shut up, man. Anyway, let's continue. So that's what Yuriy said about Potlord randomly. Potlord obviously saw this and decided to reply on his fucking stream. The first post that he made was this, with some dust bags from Gucci. He says, Riley, you can change your life today. Right? So Potlord taking a piss here. Then he posts another picture of himself walking around. I think he's in Greece somewhere, holding a Dior saddlebag and a Gucci fucking side bag and Gucci socks and shit. And he says, now I'm walking around in your city, rent money, Yuri. So taking the piss again. Another one from Blasey. Bro, wear glasses for living and can't even afford nice ones. LMAO. Where are those donos going? And on the screen is a picture of a table covered in, you know, his belongings, a Gucci wallet, a Gucci side bag, Gucci glasses. And he's trying to basically say that Yuri can't afford any of that stuff, essentially. He's also said the following here. He says, LMAO, you got evicted from your apartment moving into a studio. Oh, because I got to tell you that later. Yuri and Riley have left. Wherever they are now, they're going to leave. They're going to live in San Fran. Talking about, I'm a bum, LMAO, you do Uber Eats, gang. you would have to do 10-year $1 1 minute streams to catch up to me. And why you keep talking about kids, weirdo. So Potlord's kind of getting Yuri here, I'm not gonna lie. Also, my daughter has been to more countries than your whole entire chat. Jesus Christ, he's coming for the chat. Potlord's coming for Yuri's chat. That's not fair. Come on Potlord, that's not fair. Direct your vitriol towards, or you know, your anger towards what's his fucking face, but don't direct it to the players. They've done nothing wrong. Come on, people. Continuing. Another Potlord tweet, another Potlord Instagram story, post towards Yuri. Bro said I'm a leech, but tried have chat give him $200 to walk around, and Demon Gang was trolling, and he even got awkward or weird or something. 8% nobody wanted to donate. Let's continue. Potlord says to Yuri, you are a 30-year-old boy with no car. That's the most vicious insult you can say to somebody in America, right? If you have no car, you're basically down real bad, isn't it? I would assume. Is that not true? In America, like if you have no car, people look at you like, Jesus, what the fuck do you do? You know what I mean? Like, how far are you living? Is it really
Powerful
bad?
bunch.
Big up as always.
I got more skulls than us chat got squabbles.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Big up as always. Next one. Riley, you ain't had your nails done in 5 years. Close your mouth. Jesus, that's brutal. Here you go, brother, with Reddit jokes. That's her dad's money. LMAO. Didn't Riley mum pay for everything as your apartment that you're gonna get kicked out of? Wow. Riley mum made you sleep in the car when you followed her to the B-Day because they hate you. Wow. Riley's mum made Potlord sleep in the car. You're not sleeping in here. No, thank you. Jesus. Okay. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Okay, it continues here. What's it say anymore? Alright, I'm done beefing with a grown man with no car. Your girl would have to drop you off to come fight me. LMFAO. That is quite funny, to be fair. So they did that. They went back and forward, as you can see, courtesy of the things I just mentioned. Then out of nowhere, fucking Blasey pops in. Blasey pops in out of nowhere and posts this AI generated picture of Yuriy. On his forehead is tattooed Custer, and above it is obviously tagged, what's his face, Potlord. So that was a main issue that came with this in general. It's like, okay, cool. What happened to the seats then? You know what I mean? So it's continued there. Blasey from Reconnected calling former Reconnected co-host Yuriy a bozo, a Custer, tagging fucking, you know, thingy messing and resharing on the story. You know how it goes, man. You know what we're doing. Continuing on another tab. Do you want to see some evidence of who punches harder? Do you want to see the kind of battle ready, scrap tendency fucking fighters you'd like it to see from No Job Universe? I'm sure you do. Let's play the clip. Let's put some music on. Look at that technique though from Yuriy as well. Look at that technique. Jesus Christ, bro. He threw his entire body into that and still hardly did anything. Fucking hell. Cool. Good to see. Big up everybody in the stream chat. What we're saying here, big up Mr. Studio Girl. Yuri's Josh is Josh Bloss, Mike and is drinking. Yeah, true. I agree with that. Definitely Josh Bloss, man. Josh Block. What a t-shirts man is drinking. I definitely agree with that one. Cool. We saw all the clips regarding this. Let's move on. Let's do a couple more. Yuriy posted the following again, taking a piss out of what's his face, Potlord. Let's post on here so you can see it. Apologies. Boom, boom. That's Beetlejuice, I think, right? Then go next again. Let's do this. So these are the tweets that, you know, Anthony fucking received right after that fucking video leaked, you know, because people be talking a massive game about certain things and it happens. Anyway, Yuriy posted the following, aimed towards Potlord. He says, showing your girl's daddy's money is not a flex. LOL. Literally everyone knows you ain't fooling no one. It does take a genius to discover to use the coolest called it on the fucking month. That's always got one of those type of things. So I guess that's somewhat handy. Cool, people. Let's continue. One couple more. I think we did that, right? Here you go, brother, with the Reddit jokes. I think we've done it already. Riley ain't been fucked. I think we did all this as well. We did this, right? About the punching bag thing at the arcade. I think we did this as well.
Alright, okay, let's see.
Still kind of weak to it,
Give it me.
There we go. And then continuing on, any more clips here? We've got, yeah, and then a couple more posts here. This is from Potlord's wife. So before it was Yuriy v Potlord, And now it's turned into Potlord's wife against Riley because Yuri's the one that said, oh, she's 40 or something, right, in some derogatory term in the pod recently. So I think that's, you know, more than a fair reason to be like, you know what, I'm good on these people, but for us entertainment purposes, it's fucking brilliant. So this is, you know, what is going on here. Big up fucking, what's her name? Ali, Potlord's girl. She says, bruh, you haven't fucked your girl in a month talking about my husband doesn't think I'm attractive. Skull face emoji. Plus you beat your bitch. And that's not talk. Let's not talk about kids since you killed yours. Jesus Christ. Okay. Wow. That was a powerful, let's say that to least, you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Big up Ali. It continues on. She makes another post here. Motherfuckers so broke they never heard of pedophile affording a nanny or having a family, but it's okay. You grew up if fostered game, you'll not receive any bad blood, you know? That's basically it. Everyone gotta be closing though. That's it, right? Everybody gotta be closing. You would imagine anyway. What else is going on here? Cool. That's it. Let me get this roll. Let's get this roll. Let's get this roll. Let's see what I won. Let's see who the protagonist is. Let's see who fucking represents corporate greed. Who does that? Someone must do it. Don't know who particularly, but someone must do it. Because at the end of the day, it's still a fucking bargain. Do you know what I mean? Now we got here, but anyway, let's move on. Let's continue. No, motherfuckers so broke they never heard of people affording a nanny or having a family, but it's okay. You grew up in foster care, not your fault. Jesus Christ, they're going in hard on fucking Yuri, innit? He kind of started it, so I think it makes sense. But Jesus, they're not having it. They're not having it at all. Okay, she did that. She did this, and I think that's basically about it when it comes to representation from Jane Gillis. He's a fucking legend. He's a fucking legend. Okie dokie, we did that, we did this. Oh, and then continue on from the Yuri and Riley shit. Riley posts this on her Instagram, or sorry, on the stream chat. This is so fucking sad. I'm not gonna lie. This is what she posted on the screen chat. I know some of you guys will still tear it up, you know. I would still, don't get me wrong. But the luxury is just undeniable, man. You know what I mean? You have the AC running and shit, fucking super cold, like good kitchen, good, what's that? Coffee. What? Let's see this. Let's see this one. Bear with me a second as this loads. Where's the fucking part? Yes, there we go. Yuri's girlfriend in Yuri's stream chat said the following: I can admit I'm fat and not cute right now. I'm not in denial, lol. Imagine letting your girl say that to you while you're on stream. You won't try and just, you know, keep it quiet, help them out, be alright, it'll be fine. No, here you are, real life shit. Dealing with it in real life. Fucking mad. Well, go get some help then, innit? Figure it out, bro. Figure it the fuck out. Come on, let's play. Why is it not playing? Oh, it's not a video, that's why. Duh. Cool. Anyway, we got that, and then obviously someone posted a picture of what she might look like now, which is a fucking piss take. Let's go through some videos. Actually, let's see what the fuck he's saying right now. Actually, what is Yuri saying? Did Yuri say nothing about those guys? Let's see if he said nothing. If he said anything, not nothing. If he said anything, bear with me a second here. I want to see if he said anything.
Je suis là? What the fuck does that mean? I love when you get drunk. Unfortunately, I can't get on your level or I'll get cancelled. Takes practice, my friend. I could take you to my jujitsu or to my fucking domain. What's it called? Not jujitsu. I can take you to my temple.
Yuriy, I have a game I would like you to look up and check out if you like Call of Duty.
Sorry, that was very loud.
Oh, let me fast forward a bit. I think it might be somewhere here where he speaks about those guys. Let's see if I can find it.
Person to pull the race card. You're known to call anyone racist.
There you go.
You have said yourself. You.
Here you go.
Domain. What's it called?
Here you go.
Not jujitsu. When the fuck, dude? Potlord.
Here we go.
I taught him how. I taught him how to stop. He was a difficult client at first, but I was able to break through the boundaries.
Here you go.
And we figured it out. Are the mats covered in J&J oil? No.
Big up King Bayu. The thing is, I feel like Potlord and Ali were the last people to be okay with you and Rally, yet Yuriy finds a way to ruin everything for everyone. Honestly, I think he's the worst. That's the thing. That's why it's super disappointing to see them going back and forth like this and saying these type of insults to each other. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of heartbreaking because they were really cool. They were on holidays together. The girls thing that they got, I think the girls got really close. I don't think Yuriy got as close to Potlord as Riley got to Ali, or as Ali got to Riley. But unfortunately, it all had to come crashing down. It's kind of sad, to be fair. It really is kind of sad. But that's what happens, I guess, with friends. You know what I mean? You go from loving each other and being around each other all the time to suddenly being strangers and then insulting each other online.
Actually, we have exclusive access to Diddy's future baby oil brand. I can't say too much about it. I can't say what viscosity it is. I can't say the name of the brand. I can't say the color. But just I'm letting you know we're using stuff that's not even dropped yet, not even out. So I can't really say too much.
Yay. Apparently, according to Potlord, it takes $50 to get you to say the N-word.
When the fuck? Dude, Potlord loves to fucking use the racist card when anyone who has even slight memory, guys, how many times has Potlord came on my stream and...
The only thing I don't like about Yuriy sometimes with this sort of stuff is like, he talks very like... He's very animated, he gets very loud, he gets very insulting, gets very rude when he's talking about people. When I understand why he's clapping back, but then in person he's a completely different guy. He's not on this type of timing, you know? And he kind of also presses people's buttons. He goes out of his way to kind of encourage or go through the back and forth, but when it's time to fucking go time, because men are just not built for the back and forth hee hee ha ha thing, eventually someone's gonna challenge you to a fight, and you know, you're either gonna accept it and back yourself, or you're gonna, you know, bitch out like a pussy and say, nah, I'm not gonna do it. It's just content, It's like, come on, no it isn't. No it fucking isn't. You guys know that.
try to get my chat to say the N-word? How many times have I physically on stream got uncomfortable with the idea of him doing it?
Big up Jaded. Make it 10 Modelos, my friend. Make it 10 Modelos. Don't stop now. Make it fucking 10.
Asked him politely to stop, asking him like a little jokingly just to continue the vibes, like, yo, come on, cut it out, blah, blah. He did this so many times. He kept trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna get the whole chat to say the N-word. Another shtick he did not come up with by...
By the way, I definitely think Yuriy must have said the N-word in a very derogatory term after fucking House Phone did that legendary go home and scream at your bitch stream. I don't doubt it, the slightest that Yuriy definitely uttered the fucking hard ER under his breath, the hard ER in other spaces when they were walking around. I'm for sure he fucking made sure he did that. You could definitely tell he definitely said the N-word. He definitely said the derogatory word for Mexicans too regarding Blasey saying, or regarding Blasey not defending him. I'm pretty certain of it.
Himself, he's copying that from House Phone and some of House Phone's fucking earlier performances on stage. So that's another idea he has, not original to him. He's copying from someone else, but he used to love doing this. He used to love playing.
Big up Jaded. Go.
Playing the goddamn race card. He used to love asking people to say the N-word. He used to love sending racist donations while I'm in public situations. He used to love sending sexual donations while I'm in public situations.
Okay, relax. Come on, Yuriy. Sexual, as if it's about, like, relax, Yuriy. Stop being a fucking Puritan. Relax.
Situations when even visibly I've even said it and you could see it on camera, there are children nearby. He will send in some out-of-pocket ass motherfucking suck dick, pussy, boobs, this, blah, blah, some that, like, random sexual out-of-pocket.
Say that again. Suck dick. Say that again.
Children nearby. He will send in some out-of-pocket ass motherfucking suck dick, pussy, boobs, this, blah, blah, some that, like, random sexual out-of-pocket stuff. He used to love laughing at this. He would be fucking slapping his knee, cracking his ass off, bro. Talking about like, oh, I sent these inappropriate goddamn motherfucking donos at the certain time or messages at the certain time.
After we connected that.
Bro, Potlord is the last person to pull the race card. You're known to call anyone racist.
Tough guy Yuriy. Look at him looking directly into the camera, looking directly into Potlord's soul. I love it. Go on, Yuriy.
You have said yourself you love making racist jokes. Bro, you're known to pull the racist card, bro. You love getting people to say the N-word. You love getting people to fucking do out-of-pocket ass shit. And then you want to play the racist card? Are you retarded, dude? You're fucking silly as shit if you want to play that card, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Go ask your fucking girl's daddy for another gift, retard.
Jesus
Bro,
Christ.
I don't get it.
Again, he can't say to people's faces. How much I like Yuriy in some of his streams, and I think, you know, he can sometimes be misunderstood. Doing that sort of thing and just hanging out, it just must be boring. I don't lie. It's alright to be there at some points, but it must be super boring eventually. Because Jesus Christ, man, come on.
You're racist. You're racist. You're fucking retarded if you think you can pull the racist card. You gotta be autistic. Bro, he made mad weird racist jokes constantly, all the time. He loved playing that card. He loved doing that shit. That was his favorite thing to do. You don't have to see one or two random streams. His community can fucking attest to this. Bro.
Remember, Yuriy, the same people that have a problem with you and Riley and what you guys do now and how you guys are is the same people that seemingly didn't have any of this energy or problems when they were partying and hanging with y'all.
Not the same thing, really. Not the same thing. Not the same thing.
People keep trying to pull that card on me saying, Yuriy, if you were aware that motherfucking shitlord was leaving his daughter at home on a nanny cam so he can get drunk at your house, you're no better because you were okay with that. Guys, let me ask you an honest question. To anyone who's a little bit older and has experience with this, have you ever tried to correct your friend's parental skills? It never works out well. It's one of those things where you're just like, you insert your opinion when you can and you feel comfortable, but you don't ever tell anyone how to parent their own kid. But definitely in the back of my head, I was thinking, this is a fucked up situation. This ain't completely fucking right. I didn't necessarily ask you to come. Your ass invited yourself via the chat to get viewers from my community. It happened many times with many friends.
This jacking of the view, honestly, come on, get over yourself, man. There's not a fucking, a limited pool of viewers, It's not that deep. One goes on stream, one is live. You just alternate. Come on, man. Kick really thinks they're just going to sleep on a car somewhere. We funny if true, Just sit on the floor somewhere, just catching fucking bare heat. Love it. Let's go.
Not just goddamn scumlord. It'll happen with many people that would join my chat, verbally announce, I would like to be invited. I would like to be there during the situation. And guess what? I'm stuck in this position where I'm like, oh, do I just publicly embarrass you right now and tell you I don't want you to come here, or I don't want you to do that thing again? Or do I just go like, yeah, man, I guess come through now. Everyone, you said you wanted to come, and everyone's saying, W, come over. All right, dude. I guess you put yourself in that position, dude.
Don't know what the fuck he's talking about there, but that's essentially the Yuriy and Potlord beef. Yuriy started it, flew off the handle, decided to, say some nasty things about Yuriy. Then he started to go in at Ali, who's probably been the most understanding of them too. I'm not going to lie, you know what I mean? But she still got the boot. Anyways, people, I think that's it now. Thank you for tuning into episode number 1131. Fucking crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's just check on this here. What does it say? This is without the thingamajiggy. Oof. Delicious. So we're gonna leave the Yuriy and Riley thing there tonight, and then we're gonna carry it back on tomorrow when I do the members only stream. So definitely make sure you pay attention to that thing. What else is going to tell you? Members on the stream, do that tomorrow. Oh yeah, and then we'll be back on track as well with the marathon stream. So keep an eye out for that. For those of you watching live, make sure you smash the like button, hit subscribe, all that good shit. Join the Discord, leave comments, and I'll add the timestamps later as well. But big up everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you. Smash the like, hit subscribe. See you guys tomorrow in the morning, in the afternoonish, for more Taz and more random show coming at your fucking head top. Okay, cool, bless, chill, peace, amazing, love you all. See you again very, very, very soon, as in a few hours, you know. Nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy. Big up everybody, big up everybody, big up everybody.